Check the audio. Once we get the stream to pop up. There we go. Check, check, check. Hey, Ritwick's in here. What's up, Ritwick? And Andrew Ricker's in here. Hey, Ricker. How are you guys? Oh, it's late. It's definitely late, later than I usually stream, but I had a very busy day of work that I just finished up, and I thought, been dying to do some putting, hit some putts. And I thought, maybe some people will still be up. We can hang out, turn the stream on. Oh, already missing. I'm doing okay. I'm just tired. A little tired from a long day of work. But I'm grateful to get to do pretty cool work that I care about and feel good about doing, which is a nice change from where I started my career. Boom. I've also been trying out this left hand low grip. I shouldn't say trying out, more like going back to. I've, over the years, I would guess probably 50% of my golfing life I've putted left hand low. So it's more just going back to something with which I'm familiar. Dog's coughing in the background. Thanks for checking out the stream, guys. What have you been up to, Ritwick? Have you been practicing much? How about you, Andrew? What are you working on in your game? Boom. Should probably set up the Pels tutor. Why not? Already here. Make sure we're starting these putts online. Long day of work. But that's okay. Sometimes you got to do it. And do the things you want to do, like this. Once the work that pays the bills is done. Sometimes it goes that way. Although, thanks to you guys, we're now maybe not paying the bills, but monetized on YouTube, which is super cool. I honestly had no idea that it could happen as quickly as it did. I mean, obviously you hear about people who, go crazy viral and they really blow up, but we just kind of did it the old-fashioned way, one day at a time. And yeah, pretty cool milestone. So thank you guys for all the support, all the nice comments. I got an amazing email today from an older golfer who was like, "Hey, I love your content." They just, had a question about one of the training aids or piece of equipment that I use, and so I helped them out. But I was like, man, that's somewhat unexpected to missed on the left there. But really cool to, reach people across demographics and across the world too. I mean, I've had tons of cool interactions with people on the stream and in the comments on videos. You know, people from all over the world. You know, all over the U.S. for sure, but you know, Asia and South America, Australia. You know, all different kinds of parts of Europe. We have a very strong Scottish contingency in the stream chat usually. Hey, DJ Wood's in here. What's up, DJ Wood? DJ's from Canada. Very cool. It's where I'll be trying to flee to. Things keep going the way they're going in the US. Please take me in, DJ. I have two very cute dogs. I mean, maybe not you specifically, but your country. All right, we're gonna start keeping track now. That's one. See, guys, we have this brand new, very official score streak tracker, and I need to update the sub count on here too. And you know what's incredible? I think this is the second or third day that I've had this, and I potentially have already lost the marker, which would be very on brand. Is this it? Oh, incredible. All right, so I think we were at like 25-15 when we started on the subs. 25-15, and the streak, well, the streak's at 1, so we're not gonna write 1, but we'll update it every 10. This is extremely official, guys. Does not get more official than that. All right, so I'm gonna pop this out of here, and we're just gonna hit putts with no aids, except for the mat, I suppose. It's like a right edge, you know, just kind of fractionally breaking to the left putt. That's 2. I feel like the radio guy on the first day of the Top Gun movie, where he's like, "As of now, we are keeping score." The hard deck for that hop was 10,000 feet. You knew it. You broke it. You followed Commander Heatherly below after he called no joy. Why? All right, that's 4. DJ says, I'll vouch for you. I said, right, LOL. Mostly the pups. What course is the print behind you? Nip Sauce is in here. Since when you switch putter? We're just trying something else, trying something different. Thanks for being here, Nip Sauce. Good to hear from you. This is a Tobacco Road print. Played there a couple times. Don't worry, Nip Sauce. We've still got the spiders still here. Still looking very pretty and beat up, honestly, but well loved. Just you know, sometimes you got to look at something different. Try a new feel. You know, it's on the list. It's a very cool golf course. I don't think I would want to play there every day. Is my take on Tobacco Road. It's very, very cool. It doesn't always feel like the quality of the golf shot you hit is super correlated to the result you get. Ooh, that was close. Here we go. Boom. All right, that's 10. 10 is enough to start a streak. So you know what we do, guys? We grab our extremely official tracker here. 10. Hopefully it's not too small. Streak is 10. What's the lowest net score you've ever shot? Well, I don't know about net, but all my low scores have been when my handicap was 0 or better. But my career low score is 64. That was 6 under par. That was 6 birdies, an eagle, and 1 double bogey. No bogeys that day, but I did have a double on the 4th hole. Eagled the first. Was kind of just off and running from there. Although, honestly, I remember correctly, it was a pretty... I think I shot 35 on the front 9. So, relatively, like, I think that was even or 1 under. But then 29 on the backside, which was really fun. 29, I don't think... I remember walking off the course that day being like, I don't know if I'm ever going to put up a better score than this. Like, this just might be my career round. I hope not. I mean, I'd love to shoot 7 under maybe, or 63, whichever. 6 under 64. But yeah, made a bunch of putts. I think I chipped in for birdie at one point. Just kind of one of those special days. Most of my good scores at the time were like in the high 60s, to low 70s. So that was definitely a really, really good one. My lowest came the other day, 52. 29 is obscene. Yeah, it definitely was. It kind of felt that way. This is definitely a Jason Day-esque putter. I had the same thoughts. And I think seeing him putt with one can give you a lot of confidence, right? I mean, he has such a pure stroke. He makes a ton of those important, like 5 to 10 foot putts. What always impresses me about his stroke is just how he keeps the putter so low to the ground throughout the whole stroke. And it just doesn't look like he ever hits a bad putt. I mean, they don't all go in, but they at least all, in that 5 to 15 foot range, he's scaring the hole. Hits a lot of good putts, that's for sure. I played that same golf course a couple months ago where I shot 64. And I shot 68, which was, obviously still a score I was pleased with. But man, when you have a career round like that at a certain course, you're like, man, I remember, through 15 holes, I was 7 under or 6 under, whatever it was. I think I did birdie the last, maybe. But regardless, you kind of have that feeling of like, oh, I put up a good number here before. It's a short golf course, to be clear. It's like 6,000 yards from the tips. But old Donald Ross course on the northern part of Massachusetts. Did you play college golf? I played club golf in college, so yes, it was competitive. It was probably equivalent to like a Division II for NCAA purposes. Our tournament scores were like in the high 60s to mid 70s. But I'm mostly I think I'm a better player now overall than I was even then. My scores might be somewhat similar, but I think I just was really good at hitting the ball back then. I didn't really have any idea how to play golf strategically. Forgot to update the extremely official tracker. That's how you know it's extremely official, because you can forget to update it. Got my Heineken Zero beer here to keep me keep me hydrated. Let me catch up here. Is this set up at 5 feet? Right now it's set up at like 6 feet, I think. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somewhere between. 5.5 feet, maybe. Have you ever rolled a lab? So I played most of last season with a lab broomstick, the long one, and I learned how to do it, like this. And I think it's unbelievable on short putts. It felt like every 4-footer I ever hit was going to start on line. But I could not two putt from outside of 20 feet, like if my life depended on it. It's really frustrating to play in like a qualifier and hit, I don't know, 11 greens in regulation and shoot 82 because, you had 40 putts. You're like, I cannot score this poorly, and actually be hitting the ball somewhat solidly. So that was a short-lived experiment. I actually, at one point last season, I had 2 putters in the bag. I was using the short putt or the short putter for lag putts and the broomstick like inside 10 feet, and it was a mental disaster. Like I had no confidence on the greens. So ditch the broomstick. I would love to try. I really want to try a DF3, the really big one, with the forward, lean in the shaft, and give one of those a try. But I haven't quite got around to it, and plus we just bought a house, so most of my excess, money, to the extent there is any, is going towards that, which is great. It's an amazing, milestone for us, and our family, and my wife and I both really wanted to own a house, but yeah, I can't be coming home with new putters when there's projects to do. Was that the course record? I don't think it was. Ever played the Whale in New Bedford? No. Hey, Coolie Bob. Do you love God because he loves you? I'm not sure I have a strong opinion on the matter, but I did go to Catholic school, so I am quite familiar with where you were headed there, Coolie Bob. But yeah, I think as long as you're a good person and you treat people well, that's all I really care about. But I appreciate your well wishes, Coolie Bob. And I appreciate you coming back to the chat. What was the big shift in your play from college to now? Mainly strategy. Yeah, so thanks, Nip Sauce. So like I said, DJ, back in the day, I truly was just like, oh, let's hit driver down there as far as we possibly can. Or like I'd hit it in the trees and I'd be like, all right, well, if I hit like a cut 7 iron through that, tiny window, and I got really good at hitting the, ball striking. My ball striking was great. My ball speed was like in the high 170s. So I was hitting it out there, but I didn't know how to put together a whole round, right? I could play 15 holes, 2 or 3 under, and then I'd end up shooting 74 because I, finished bogey double or something, because I'd hit one shot, offline or not where it needed to be. And then I'd be like, well, I just got to make it all up with one swing. And it's just, I have a much better sense of how to navigate a round of golf and control my emotions. I used to be really, really kind of fiery. I get fired up when I hit great shots, and I'd be extremely, hard on myself when I didn't hit good shots. Thanks, Liam. Korean Clyde says, I like your tattoos. Thanks, Korean Clyde, or Korean Clyde. Sidey said hi. Hey, Sidey. And Nipsauce said course management key. Absolutely. Nipsauce, number 3. Stream chatter. DJ Wood, number 1. Awesome. Nipsauce, number 3 now. DJ, number 1. Putter said hi. And LB35 said get a lab putter. I would love to try a lab putter again. Maybe I will. Maybe if you guys keep blowing up this channel like you have been, smash that subscribe button enough times, and lab will come to us. Boom. All right, this is the back half of third set here. Coming up on 30 in a row. Not that you'd ever know it because I've just been yammering. Boom. It's exciting. We get to update our extremely official streak tracker. Going to 30 now. Boom. 30 is a good streak. Longest I've ever had was during the putting challenge. I made 47 in a row, I think. 47 or 48. That was also on the Pels tutor, so I had to, navigate that for all those as well. I'd be an all-star if golf was only 12 to 15 holes. Oh, I'm so with you, dude. I'm so with you. What's my opinion on them? I think the technology is super cool. I do think like eventually, somebody's going to come up with something that is a like paradigm shift in putting, like in technology, right? The same way that people used to use persimmon drivers, and like you would never see somebody using one now. A putter like this in 20 years might be the same sort of thing, like a relic or an antique, if some of these technologies are as good as they claim to be, which could be cool. Do you play PGA 2K? I don't. I have played a lot of EA Sports PGA Tour. I think that's a pretty cool simulator, almost like course management practice. Because as long as you know how to play the game, it's more about like, are you picking the right shot and the right target than did you strike the ball solidly, right? Because it's a video game and you're supposed to be a professional golfer. So you can generally hit like solid golf shots. But yeah, I think those games are a ton of fun. I played a lot of that when I was rehabbing my knee at the end of last year. I didn't play golf from like September to December when I had a torn meniscus in this knee. And I played a ton of EA Sports PGA Tour while I was rehabbing. That guy. My knee hurts today for a different reason, though, which was getting tattooed for almost 4 hours yesterday. Me bumbleclot, nice tots G. Thanks, Naval Rain. May God bless you all with love and happiness. May you be in joy for eternity in heaven. Thanks, Schoolie Bob. What's my local course? I don't think I have one at the moment. What's my handicap? Currently 2-something. I haven't played for the last 3 months. Fella broke my collarbone. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I've experienced the broken collarbone myself, but mine was from crashing a motorcycle. Evening out the golfers tattoo spending. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I've been working on this leg sleeve for the longest time. You can see it's all red still, and it's pretty painful. But it takes a lot of hours of getting tattooed to cover a whole leg. So I kind of lost some momentum with it. So I was trying to restart that. And the guy that I work with, his name's Jimmy, tattoo artist. Awesome guy. I've been working with him for a number of years now, so it's kind of like hanging out with an old friend, who I've known for a long time, which is a pretty cool relationship to have. But yes, definitely, DJ, the tattoo spending took a big leap step back towards what we were doing with the golf. Nipsaw says, I just hit 8 handicap, never thought I'd ever get there. 5 years in, never give up. Awesome, dude. I mean, 8 handicap, that's really solid. That's like, you could really do some damage in a tournament, getting eight pops. DJ says, are you still riding bikes? No, I am not. But that was more because like I got married and Not because I crashed. I actually, after I wrecked, some guy pulled over and helped me stand the bike up, and I kept on going where I was going because my dumbass, I knew that my collarbone was broken already. Oh, I broke it into like multiple pieces because I hit the ground and like the bone kind of went this way, and there's like on the X-ray there's a bunch of little fragments. But my dumbass was like, oh, I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. I'll just go get it checked out tomorrow. And thank God I was going to meet my brother, who works in the emergency department. And he was like, dude, you're an idiot. Get in my car. We're going to the hospital right now. Like, that could be a big, a serious issue. So went and got that checked out, and, fortunately had no other serious injuries besides the collarbone, which, he wore a sling for 8 weeks. And thankfully for me, the only side effect was that my shoulder got shorter, because the bones, when they broke like this, when they heal, they go back together like this. So they're like slightly closer. The ends were slightly closer than when they started. So that was a pretty gnarly one. But no, I've been lucky. I mean, I've had some other serious injuries. I almost chopped my finger off with a cigar cutter. That was pretty crazy. Had to. That was probably the most significant rehab I've ever had to do, just because of all the like occupational therapy. Because with your fingers and hands, they're pretty serious about getting it fixed and working. So once they had to like open it all up and pull the tendon out so they could stitch it back together, and that was a pretty gnarly one. Wouldn't recommend. But I'm grateful that I, live in a place where there's really good healthcare. By the way, guys, extremely official tracker update. The streak is up to 40. 40 is the new streak. Liam says, I've never really liked the handicap system, prefer straight up. I agree with you, Liam, because, especially playing off of a low index most of my life, it's like it gets frustrating when you're like, is it really fun to like lose to somebody who's a 14 handicap and shoots, 86, but their net score beats you? Like, I don't know. Have any golf tats? I don't think I have any golf tattoos. No, I don't. I might not have any. To be honest, I kind of forget what all there is. No, those are just dice. Jake says golf sucks unless you're drunk. Well, that is a one opinion you could have, Jake. But as someone who is more than 4 years sober, alcohol free, I don't share your opinion. But it's okay that we don't agree. Because I'm glad you brought that up, because as somebody who now is, still loves golf and plays a ton of golf and doesn't drink, but I used to play, I used to be drinking beers. Didn't matter if we were teeing off at 9 a.m. or 4 p.m. Like, we're playing golf, I was going to be drinking. And I genuinely was like, man, will golf still be fun? Like, will I enjoy going to do that if I stop drinking? And the answer, guys, unequivocally is yes. Like, golf is just awesome. I think it's also been a great way for me to, a tool or resource in trying to maintain my sobriety. And it's really great. I mean, there's a community around it. It's a way to exercise and get outside. I have obviously had to explain myself, or you meet people like Jake who are like, oh man, I really don't get it. What are you doing here if you're not drinking beers? And, you have to be like, yeah, well, I still love to play. And I usually say something like I'm a retired pro, which is pretty true. I used to be really, really good at drinking. All right, guys, 41. We are going to have to keep this streak going. Woo! Brother, you're a bit of a Band-Aid. Yeah, that's definitely historically has been too, DJ. Nip Sauce says, Jake, you're so wrong, dude. I agree with Nip Sauce. Can't say I share the same view as Jake as long as you're having the crack. What's the stroke thoughts? Right now, I've been trying to shorten it up. Is the stroke thought. Ace says, your story is inspiring. It's 42. You took your first ball back. Oh, thanks for catching me, DJ. I appreciate that. 42 now. Or does that make 43? See, I start yammering. My stroke was getting a bit long, it felt like, and I was having a hard time keeping the club face square. So trying to feel just like a tiny bit more pop in it. Not a ton, not like a Brandt Snedeker, like we're really going to start banging it, but just shorten it up a tiny bit. Thank you guys for keeping me honest on the streak. Jake said yo. Lila said hi. DJ said 43. All right. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. If you guys like hanging out, I know it's late here, but wanted to hang out for a little while, hit some putts. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really does help us out, especially now that YouTube is sharing the wealth. We monetize the channel thanks to you guys. Just all the incredible support. Boom. You know what I'm going to do, DJ? If I make all of these, I'm not going to hit the last one, and then we'll know it's at 50. How about now? Are we back? Press hashtag grand. Does that mean it's back? Check, check, check. Press. Oh, nice. Okay. Always have a backup. All right, so this putt is for 50 in a row, guys. Boom. It is a great day. Anytime we get to update the extremely official streak tracker. New PR, guys. 50 putts from 5 feet. Let's keep going. Let's make 60. Let's make 70. Who knows? This is turning into one of those, like, if you ever play video games with your friends late at night and you're like, we're just going to play until we lose. If you're on a hot streak, that's kind of how it feels right now. Just having a good time, chatting with the people. Making a bunch of putts in a row. Ooh, that one got sneaky to the left side there. 51. 52. You guys should start taking bets in the chat. Like, what's the number? What's the over-under? Woo! 53. 54. 55. This is getting crazy. Liam says 119. Incredible. Fluffy Tyranny said hi. Hey, are you pushcart cartel or a rider? The honest answer, DJ, is it depends on the golf course and how I'm feeling physically. My preference, I always love the pushcart. I prefer to walk as much as I can. But like I played in a 3-day member guest recently, and there was a practice round before. So it was really 4 straight days of golf, and by the 4th day, I was like, I need a cart. Like I just cannot. My knees and my back are not in good enough shape to play that much golf and walk 4 days in a row. That's why I don't know how we don't talk more about the endurance that the PGA Tour players have. Like to make that many swings on a weekly basis and travel and walk, 5 rounds of golf a week. Like I give them a ton of credit just from a conditioning perspective. Sean says, today's 6 months sober for me. Really glad I ran into this stream randomly. That's awesome, Sean. I'm really proud of you, my man. I appreciate you sharing that with us and, dropping a comment to let us know. That's very, very cool. Really proud of you, man. There we go. I think those first few months really are the hardest. Like once I got past, I think a year, maybe a year and a half, I was like, oh, I don't, feel the pressure, right? Like the first few months, you're like, man, I had a bad day. Like, what's your go-to? Just grab a drink, like automatic. Your brain has been wired for a long time to say like, this is how we respond to this, and it takes a long time and hard work to rewire those processes, right? But yeah, really, really proud of you, Sean, for making it to 6 months. That's awesome. I don't know if I've shared this on the stream before, but I didn't even really intend to fully stop drinking. This is non-alcoholic beer, by the way, you guys. I know I was like, it sounds crazy to be talking about sobriety while holding beer, but this is very clearly non-alcoholic. So these also can be a great tool. I really am a big fan of like having those habits. Like I like, watching a football game and sitting on the couch and drinking a beer. It just doesn't have alcohol in it. So my point being, or where I started was, my goal when I first got sober was to do 30 days. That to me was like going to be a gargantuan challenge to try to not drink for a month. And I was at a moment in time where I was like violently hungover. I've been drinking, really, really intensely for probably a week. Just one of those, bender type situations. And I was like, man, I really need to give my body a break. And once I was able to get to like 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks were brutal, like seriously brutal. But you just start to realize like how much better you can feel, how much better you can sleep. Exercising gets easier. Instantly like lose 10 pounds. Even if you're not out of shape or overweight, like if you drink and then you stop drinking, like, it's just excess calories. So yeah, I think once once it was so clearly in front of my eyes, like, dude, everything is better when you don't do this. Like, why would you go back to doing that? Is when I really committed to like, I don't think I'm going back. I don't think I'm going to start again, even if I make it to 30 days. So that's very cool. All right. We are, hopefully DJ is still here to keep me honest. I think this is for 59 in a row. Whew. Banged it in the back. At the beginning, when they say one day at a time, you think it's BS. Next thing you know, it's a few months. I totally agree with you, Sean. I think that, that's when people ask me like, wow, I'm at almost 4.5 years now of alcohol-free lifestyle. no drinking at all. And people say like, man, how'd you do that? And it's like, same way anybody, one day at a time. Like you do a day, and then you do a second day, and then you do a third day, right? It's, it sounds silly, but the journey of 1,000,000 miles begins with a single step, right? It's a different context, obviously, but the same way I started making content, and doing live streams and making videos and having, really no, background in like media or any experience filming myself. I was like, I just have to start. You just have to make a video. And that's how you become a content creator, right? Is you make content. It's not like a job you can get hired for, I don't think. Maybe it is somewhere, but I was like, hey, if you're interested in doing this, you just have to start. You take that first step, you take the second step. And now I've posted, hundreds of videos and done dozens of live streams. Nick said late night. Yeah, we were up working late, had some deadlines we had to meet for my big boy job. And then I thought, you know what? I've been dying to hit some putts all day. Let's just come and do it. This is for 60 in a row, guys. Boom. Let's go. I definitely never made 60 in a row, let alone on the stream. Time to update the extremely official streak tracker. 60 in a row now, guys. Check it out. I need to find a way for this to be like somewhere visible. Vinny says, why'd you block me on Grindr last night? Well, you were being really rude, Vinny. You're being really rude. Drive for show, putt for dough, bro. Nice stroke. Thanks, Hot Rod. Shout out to Hot Rod. Guys, if you want to help us pump this sub number up, hit that subscribe button for me. I'm doing my part, hitting the putts. You guys got to help me out. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the stream, too, if you're feeling super frisky. It's late. Got the late night crew. We're on a 60 putt streak. Put it on the spider. Ready for this weekend of golf. Hell yeah, Nick. Curly Hair Kid says, any tips for long putts on the green? I don't know if I'm the guy to ask. I feel like my approach putting has been atrocious. My best piece of advice is to understand what your objective is, right? If you're outside of 10 feet, your goal is just a 2-putt. So you should be 98% focused on speed, right? Trying to have your ball finish in that 3-foot circle, trying to have your speed be as close to dead on as possible, right? If you have a 38-foot putt, you want to roll it 38 feet. Get that ball, make it as easy as possible to hole your next putt. All right, guys, 60 in a row. We're going to keep it going. Boom. Sometimes you just got to mix it up, guys. This putter had been on the bench for 6 months. And I just said, you know what? I got to look at something different. I got to switch it up. And here we go. Let's go. Whew. I like that this putt has some break too. Like I'm not just, rolling 5-6 footers end over end. Well, I am. They're rolling end over end, but I have to actually hit it on a line. And I obviously do have an aid here, but that's why it's called practice. That's 67 in a row, guys. Drop a like for 67 in a row. Woo. Thought I blocked that one a smidge. Put it on the... What do you mean, DJ? Put it on the spider. Any tips? Cool deal, man. I'll keep that in mind. Hey, Clicks is here. What's up, Clicks? Clicks, one of our longtime supporters. All right. You know how many that is, guys? That's 69 putts in a row. The board, prop it up. Oh. Like this? How's that? Is that visible? Masao said hi. DJ nice. Putt Tickler said yo. Up top. Here maybe? What if I use the... Oh, I'm going to drop this computer. The hard part is like getting the angle. Or what if we use this kettlebell? What if it goes right here? Shout out to DJ. Not too far. What type of grip you use putting? Traditional. I'm putting left hand low right now with reverse overlap. So left hand down here and then right hand goes on with this one finger kind of out on the back. That's good there. Maybe on top of the bag. Oh yeah, up here it could work too, potentially. But hopefully you guys can see this. Also, we only usually go in increments of 10, but there is one left. So we have the ability to do it. Nice! Just for you, DJ. Nick says, what you drinking? I'm drinking a Heineken Zero, non-alcoholic brew. It's not my favorite of the NA beers. I think Athletic Brewing does the best job in the NA space. But this is a great option, and it's now pretty easy to find. One thing that encourages me that I'll share with you guys, when I first stopped drinking, 4.5 years ago, you could go and find like a couple of non-alcoholic beers. There was O'Doul's everywhere, which wasn't very good. And in the last 4 years, like every restaurant I go to now has a non-alcoholic beer. There's like tons of brands have an NA option. Oops, I gotta keep my numbers straight. Answer a couple more questions, and then we'll try to make 70 in a row. But yeah, big fan of the NA beers. Some of them are pretty good now. The different IPAs and things like that. All right, guys, this is for 70 in a row. Let's go. I told you, DJ, it's going to be we're just going to play until we lose kind of deal. Like, it might be just one streak tonight. We're going to see how deep we can take it, if you will. And then that'll probably be it, because I definitely don't usually stay up this late, and I definitely don't usually stream this late. But I'm having a good time hanging out. What's your handicap currently? It's in the 2s. It's gone way up. Do you play any other sports? No, not really. I did. I played a lot of baseball and hockey growing up. I think hockey and golf have a lot of similarities in the movements. Might never miss again is right, DJ. What's your favorite wedge on the course? Got to be the 60 degree. That's the club I use for probably 95% of my shots around the green. Feel really, really comfortable with that club. Hitting all variety of shots, low ones, high ones, draws and fades. So yeah, that's my easy answer for the wedge. But if you ask me what's like your favorite wedge yardage, I'd probably say like 115, which is either a hard sand wedge or just a really smooth 52 degree. And lately I've been opting for the smooth ones, and I've been having a lot of success just kind of taking more club and swing them at 90, 85%. What's your favorite hockey and why is it the Habs? Oh, well, that's going to be tough, DJ, because I hope we can still be friends when you find out that I grew up as a Bruins fan. $76 in a row. Boom. Truly might never miss again. Let's go. All right, guys, that's 80 in a row from just outside of 5 feet. Let's update this guy here. Bobby Jones, 60 degree, gets here tomorrow. Very cool. Couldn't resist. Chris, I'm in New England. Peak golf season for us at the moment. It'll be cold and awful before we know it. You know what's crazy is there are places that winter just doesn't happen. You could actually live there. I could live there. I'm not going to. I mean, I just bought this house, but it does blow my mind sometimes. Like you can just live in places without winter. Anime leg tattoos. I don't have any anime leg tattoos. This is going to be a Japanese traditional style leg sleeve. Maybe that's what you were getting at. Most of my other tattoos are what's called American traditional style. But this whole leg is going to be still traditional, but Japanese style. But they do share a lot of similarities, you know, between the bold lines and restrictive color palettes, you could say. Bold will hold is what they say. Boom, 82. Let's just go rapid fire here. 83. 84. 85. 86. This is getting out of control. This is getting very out of control. Woo! I seen the mask. Wasn't sure if it was anime related or not. Grab the camera for a Lamar Jackson edit. You guys always ask for these edits, but then I never see them. I don't know how. I mean, it must be cool eventually. You going to any PGA events? No. I'm a much bigger fan of watching golf on TV. I've gone to a handful of events, and I love, you know, it's cool to, I love watching Rory on the driving range. I thought that was super cool, just, you know, hearing what 190 ball speed sounds like in person. Super cool. But it's not my favorite. I actually like tournament golf and watching the tournaments, and I find that really hard to do when you're on site. Stroke is pretty locked in right now, guys. Like DJ said, these are mostly going right in the center. My longest streak before this, and I know I'm not on the Pels Tutor, so it's not a fair comparison necessarily, but I mean, 48 is what we were working with before. We are coming up on almost double that. This is for 90 in a row. When we started, it was yesterday. Now it's today. Let's go. We're going to go triple digits, guys? Triple digits. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? One foot in front of the other. We got to make 91 before we make 92. Current streak on the extremely official score tracker. 90 putts in a row now. Shout out to you guys hanging around late into the day or early in the morning, right? If you're in Ireland, like some of our watchers, or Scotland, it could be morning time. All right. 91. Mark Savard. 92. $93. That's kind of the long stroke that I'm not a fan of. I've been trying to shorten it up a tiny bit. Let's go. $95 in a row. You can't claim it's doctored, guys. It's been live streamed the whole time. Woo! Something about this left hand low. I'm striking the center of the putter very consistently. This is for 100, guys. For an even 100. Dick says, you like Scheffler for this weekend? Hard not to like Rory for the weekend redemption tour. I don't think Rory can win again. Perhaps he will, though. Such a good question. It's hard not to like the spot for Rory, right? You know, tough second place at the Scottish. Played really well, obviously, but also not like his best. I mean, if you watch some of those rounds, he had to scramble for pars a bunch, and he was still right there at the end. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think recent form matters a lot in golf. And, yeah, it's hard not to pick Rory. Hard not to pick Rory. There's a PGA Pro from my hometown. Oh, that's very cool, Putt Ticklers. Which one? DJ says he grew up on this track. Yeah, that too, right? Home course, you know, home field advantage. All right, guys. This putt's for 100 in a row. I got to lock it in. I love these questions. We'll talk more about the Open, but we got to make 100 this putt right here first. Let's go. Let's go. We have never made it to triple digits before, guys. If you're here watching, you're seeing an all-time run. 100 in a row. 100. I was supposed to go to bed hours ago. 100. Let's go. You know, the only thing better than 100 is 101. 101 Dalmatians. Bryce Garnett. Oh, I've heard of Bryce Garnett. Good golf swing. Very cool. 101. This goes in. All right. This might be the most confident I've ever felt in my life with a putter in my hand. It's just that feeling of like, I know it's going to go in before I even hit it. That wasn't my best stroke, but it still found the bottom of the cup. Boom. Oh, getting a little nervy now. Let's go. When DJ Wood said 119, I was like, that's insane. There's no chance. Guys, this putt's for 110. We are right there. Let's go. Let's go. Drop a like for 110 in a row. It's starting to sound dumb. Like, crazy town. This is like how I feel the day I walked off the golf course after I shot that 64. Just like, man, I don't know if we're ever going to do better than this. Guys, 110 5-footers in a row. I had no idea until I played my local course last weekend. Oh, that's cool. What's the weather supposed to be there this weekend? Love to take credit, but that wasn't me. Oh, somebody else said 119? Somebody definitely said... What's the streak going to be? Now I got to find it because now I'm... Oh, it was Liam Gonzalez Conway. I'm sorry, DJ. I thought it was you. You just have been hanging out for so long, which is amazing. Whew. All right, guys. This is for 111. The triple ones, triple unos. Let's go. These putts are rolling just so beautifully, too. Ooh, that one almost snuck out on the right side. That was better. Better pace. It's definitely a play until you lose kind of deal. I got to find out about the weather. I'm not really sure. Because I would definitely like to play some golf. Let's take a quick peek. Looks good. Saturday, Sunday, sunny. High of in the 80s. Lows in the mid 60s. Seems like good weather. What is the weather for the Open, DJ? Guys, this is for 120. 120 in a row. Let's go. If I made one a minute, that's 2 full hours of putts. 120. Incredible. Check that out, guys. If that doesn't get a subscribe, I don't know what does. 120 in a row. Can you even see it on the board? Oh, yeah, you can. 120. Weather for the Open. Let's find out. 2025 Open Championship weather forecast. This says forecast looks good, I think. Thursday, mostly cloudy. Friday, a little bit of rain. 50% chance of rain on Saturday. 40% chance cloudy on Sunday. So less rain as we get further into the weekend. Hey, C. Rich is here. What's up, C. Rich? I think there's some rain for the first 2 days. Yeah, that's what I just saw too. They said 40 to 60% chance of rain Thursday, Friday, and then lower after that. What's up, C. Rich? Welcome to the stream. Longtime supporter, C. Rich. This is a truly, careering it type of moment, guys. We've made 120 5-footers in a row. We're going to try to make one more. Oh, that was close. Good catch by the hole. Maybe block that one slightly. That one made me nervous too. All right, 122 we've made. Man, I wish my short putts were that good. Euro winner confirmed. Yeah, I agree. There's not a lot of guys that I would, if you look at the Ryder Cup roster for the U.S., there's obviously a bunch of really good players, but other than maybe like JT to some extent, you wouldn't be like a bunch of grinders, like Shane Lowry's gonna grind over his 7-footer for 74, even if he's not playing his best, right? I don't think the American team has the same. That one, again, just kind of barely caught that right edge. 123. Boom. You know what's funny about this is I'm going to make, how I made over 100 in a row. I'm going to get on the golf course the next time I play and miss every 5-footer. It's going to be awesome. No, you got to have confidence, right? You got to believe that the putt's going in before you hit it. You got to see it go into the hole. Watch it roll in your mind. Boom. Just goes to show you guys, I mean, if you build a pretty consistent, repeatable stroke, it's, so much of putting is still about luck. And, you can hit a bunch of really good putts that don't go in. You can hit a bunch of poor putts that do go in. It's because you're barefoot. Trust me. Hatton will grind it out, says DJ. Yeah, definitely. When he's not like screaming at porta potties, I think that is true. DJ, that's how I used to play. Like in college, I was Terrell Hatton, except not nearly as good, obviously. But just like pissed off at the world, Anytime I got a bad bounce, I was like apoplectic. All right, guys, this putt is for 130 in a row. A number that seems truly made up. All right, got it to go down. I'll be honest, I'm pretty tired. I think it's like well past my bedtime. But you don't give up on a generational streak like this. 130 in a row now, guys. Hillis Family Farms. Hey, Hillis. Says, real talk, since Rich mentioned it, do you see a difference on the course? Do you practice barefoot or in socks and put shoes on at the course? I don't practice barefoot that much, but I have heard that people like doing it. It's more for full swing stuff than for putting, I imagine. It can be really good for working on balance, right? And really feeling like how your feet are meant to push off and grip the ground, right? How we use ground force to transfer energy and create speed. The grind always pays off. Keep going, buddy. Thanks, Johnny2K. I appreciate you. If you guys are enjoying the stream like Johnny, watching us hit 130 putts in a row, hit that subscribe button for me. Really does help me out. Thanks to you guys. I mentioned it before. Some of you guys have heard me say it, but it's worth mentioning again. Because of all your support, we monetized the channel in like only 5 months, I think, since I posted my very first video. So that's like massively way ahead of what I could have ever imagined, my YouTube journey would look like. So seriously, shout out to you guys. I really do appreciate all the support. Novice here, legit started golfing like 3 weeks ago. Oh, well, welcome to the golf world, Hillis Family Farms. We're glad to have you here. And when we're not, you should definitely hit the subscribe button, because in addition to, putting and talking about tips and stuff in here, we've got a cool setup out back where I hit balls into a net and do, drills and tips. A lot of beginners will come and ask questions and like, hey, I'm really slicing my driver. Like, how can I, what are some drills I can do to work on that? And I explain them. We talk about what's going on, to cause the result that you're seeing. So stay tuned for more live streams, guys, from the hitting bay out in the backyard. Does Tommy get it done? I would like nothing more than for Tommy Fleetwood to win the Open Championship. I love his golf swing. I love how he plays golf. Let's go, guys. That's 131. Let's go rapid fire. 132. 133. 134. 135. Stroke's getting a little wonky. You got to lock that in. 136. 137. It's gonna be sad. Like I'm gonna maybe try and do this again tomorrow night or something, and I'll be like, I'm gonna have to make so many in a row to even get close to where I think I'm at. Hey, from South Korea, nice putting. Thank you very much. 136 with no yips is nuts. Thanks, man. Is that a different putter? This is the backup putter. This is the 2003 Scotty Cameron Studio Stainless Newport Beach with a clean top line, no sight dot or line or anything, with the sound slot in the bottom. This is a beautiful piece of putting hardware. I have, as most of you guys have seen, been using this Red Spider Tour for the bulk of the season, and just had a couple tough days on the greens and thought I really got to mix it up, just look down at something different. And sometimes this is what you get, right? I think this putt's for 137 in a row. My prior long streak prior to this was 48, guys. So let's go. Right in the middle. Ooh, not our best stroke there. Nice. That gets us up to 140. Wow. Putting ASMR. Israel says, what golf balls are you using? I play, these are all just like shag balls, spare ones from the shag bag. But I play the TP5X right now when I'm playing golf. Really good golf ball. Super low spin off the driver. Mark said hi. Nice tattoo. Thanks very much. Any tips for a new golf content creator / golfer? Yeah. So my best advice is just start. right? If you're interested in making content, if you're interested in learning how to, edit and make videos, you just got to start. I think I started with like some really, mediocre like AI voiceover type stuff, and then eventually learned like this is how I actually talk to a camera. This is how I get better angles. Um, so don't be afraid to just hit post, right? Like I've posted stuff where I'm like, I'm not really sure this is very good. Could I spend a little more time on it? Maybe. But you know what? Just hit send and see what happens. And some of those videos do really, really well. And there are videos where I'm like, man, this was dialed in. I feel great about this. And the algorithm's like, no, not today, buddy. So I would say don't worry about like the feedback you get, or outside of crazy stuff, right? If people are like, hey, don't post this, then maybe it's something crazy. But if you're posting golf stuff, you won't have that problem. And just try to develop a process where you can say, hey, I want to post twice a week maybe, and what do I have to do to solve for that? And don't be overwhelmed by like you see these pros, you see Grant Horvat and the Bryan Bros, and they have like 3 videographers with them with these big cameras, and they're following them around, and all these people are getting paid. Most people don't start that way, right? I started with a tripod and my iPhone. And you know what I use today after making hundreds of videos and dozens of live streams and, developing, somewhat of a following, right? We're 2,500 subscribers, hopefully more after tonight. In just 6 months, right? It's not like I've been doing this for a long time. And I still use a tripod and my iPhone to make videos. I'm going to have to bail on this soon, but I'm committed to the streak. I hear you, DJ. Yeah, we got to keep the streak going. We're at 140. How do you think I feel, man? I was thinking I was going to be done going to bed. Shotgun mic would be satisfying. Oh, and I know. Imagine if, you know what I think I can do? I don't know if it will work, guys, but I'm going to try to hook up this other microphone that has been charging. This one's still on. Maybe we can go like this and you can hear the putter too. Tell me, somebody drop me a comment. Can you hear me talking and this microphone? I truly don't know if they'll both like transmit at the same time. These putts are going right down Broadway, guys. Pup, yeah. What made you change from Pro V to TP5X? I was trying to find something that would spin less off the driver. And I feel like I found that with the TP5X. Also, I don't know if I have one in here, but I found the ones with the little squares on them that Tommy plays, the Pix balls. I really like those a lot. Oh, it sounds great. Awesome. So far, I've been posting phone footage from my phone and some highlights from my round. Is a tracer necessary? So the tracer is not necessary, but I will tell you that you will notice videos that have tracers, generally will get more engagement. I think the tracer is something that people kind of come to expect in higher quality golf videos. The good news, though, is there's an app that's free called Golf Tracer. At least it's free here for me. And I've made, I don't know, probably a couple hundred tracer videos on there. Each one takes about 3 minutes. And then you save it to your phone, and then I use that, for editing. There's an app called Power Director for iPhone. That's a free mobile editing software that I've had a lot of success using. So I do all my editing on the phone too, guys. And it's just me. There's no team. There's no like behind the scenes producers. We've got these guys. I know I shouldn't wake you up because you're sleeping. Do you want to say hi? She says, no, I got to scratch. You sleeping? I know it's late. Dad should probably be sleeping too. Yeah, so that's what I have for behind the scenes help. And I would just say, if you post a couple videos that don't do well, or you don't get a ton of engagement, like just keep posting. I try to challenge myself to post something every day, whether it's a 5-second short or a full video or a live stream. I try to do something every single day. And for me, that's a level of consistency that keeps me engaged and forces me to keep trying new stuff. There we go. How do we feel about 150, guys? That's what we're coming up on. Right down Broadway. Definitely never streamed this late in the day. I guess it's morning now. Boom. 149, guys. Drop a like for 149. If we make 150, you all have to sub. Everybody who's in the chat, if you haven't already, if this one goes in, boom. Right in the center, too. Look at that. Called Golf Tracer on the App Store. Oh, Echo-ish. Pup producers, bro. Yeah, Golf Tracer and Power Director. Guys, give it up for 150 in a row. 150? I could have never guessed that was even possible. Shout out to you guys sticking with us. Coming up on 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. Tossing golf balls everywhere. This is pretty epic. Would it be better, DJ, tell me, or... Yeah, I know. See, Rich has already subbed. I know that, my guy. Don't worry. Should I put the other mic down here so you hear it go in the cup? I feel like the sound you want, though, is off the putter. I was worried that one might not turn. 151. Bacardi 151, guys. Let's go. Let's go. $155? You kidding me? You kidding me? TP5 straight balls are mint. I agree with you. That's 5 rounds worth of putts. Jesse says, new to golfing, been watching your videos for a few weeks. Hard to squeeze in practices, especially with a newborn baby. Appreciate the content, bro. Well, I appreciate your nice comment, Jesse, and congratulations on your newborn baby. That's incredibly exciting. I think, you're forgiven for not getting your practice in because you made a human life. That's pretty cool. Guys, we made 155 putts in a row from right here. Truly didn't think that number was possible. But it just goes to show you, you put that one foot in front of the other, you hit one good putt at a time. You can do some damage. Yeah, we're coming up on like 5-6 rounds of putts. Like a good round of putts is 30. Still thinking about Jesse's comment, just, showing some love for the content. I really appreciate that. It really just started, guys, by, well, number one, I knew I was going to be playing golf. So why not try to figure out how to record it and make something interesting, some content out of it. But even more than that, right, as I, got further into my sobriety journey and, I had this really fervent belief that it's important, especially for men, right, to destigmatize mental health and sobriety and talking about these difficult issues, right, because they are prevalent in our society. And I think that not talking about them causes harm, right? Like people would ask for help if they thought it was more okay. Um, and I've experienced in my life, again, I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, but I stopped drinking and I saw a lot of huge benefits in my life. I went to therapy, I saw a lot of huge benefits in my life. Um, so, believing that if I think that it's important to destigmatize those issues, and that one of the ways to do that is by talking about them, well, then don't I have some obligation to do that, right? To put something out there that says like, hey, guys, if you're struggling, go to therapy. It's a great resource. It should really be okay to talk about these things. And so that's, I talk about how golf is the container, right? The container by which I'm able to talk about these things and credentialize myself. But that really is the goal, right? Is to help somebody out there to say like, maybe tomorrow I'm going to make a different choice in my life. Or, I saw that you put in some consistent effort and you achieved something, right? And maybe I can do that too. And also, I don't look like your average, like low index golfer. There's not a huge Venn diagram, right, of heavily tattooed people and scratch golfers. So I think using that to some extent to push out that message is really what I'm trying to do here, right? If someone said like, what's the point of your channel, or why do you waste your time doing this? Number one, it's not a waste because I get tons of great feedback from you guys. And whether it's working on people's golf swings, or they said like, hey, I was having a bad day and then I felt better. Whatever it is, there is value. And I think for me, it's validating. Number one, the support and the feedback, it's awesome. But, just that those moments of people coming back and saying like, hey, I got something positive out of what you created and put out into the world. So that's my soapbox for tonight. Barnum says, I think it's $1 now. Oh, okay. Well, sorry if I misled you. I think it was free at one point, potentially. All right, guys. 2 more in this grouping. Let's go. Coming up on 160. Time to update the extremely official streak tracker. 160 is the number now, guys. Let's keep it going. What's your thought on thick grips for putters? I've been considering putting one on, but can't get rid of my Scotty grip. I think it's all personal preference, really. Whatever works best for you. I've got a little bit of a thicker grip on this one, and this is obviously a super old school, just a Pingman standard size grip on there, and clearly it's working, so seriously, might never miss again. Yeah. Punita said hi. Hey, Punita. Welcome to the stream. If you guys are having a good time hanging out, you want to hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. $161. Let's go. $162. $163. $164. $165. $166. $167. 168? 169? Guys, when we got to 69, I thought it was crazy. I was like, well, we're getting close to the end because I never made that many before. 169. Nice. You know what's better than 69? 169. Boom. You might have to start gaming that putter in the bag. Oh, see, Rich, we made that decision like 100 makes ago. It's definitely going in the bag, at least for a little while. Imagine if I took her off the bench and she gives me like a generational performance and says, and then I was like, you know what, back to the bench? No shot. All right, guys, this is for 170 makes in a row. Definitely starting to get a bit tired. The stroke doesn't feel nearly as good as it did when we started, but, you know, there's an endurance aspect to this too, I think. Got to be able to stand here and hit all the putts. Nice. 171. $72. That was close. That was close. I didn't like how close that was. Nice. 174. 175. 176. 177. 178. 179. Nice. 180. We got half a circle, guys. I love how just beautiful and extremely official our streak tracker is. You can't get more official than that. Callie Prince said hi. Hey, what dog do you have? The best one? Ramonte said hi. Hey, Ramonte, patriotic patriot. He's a machine. He's going to do his 30-day putting challenge in one night. I know. This is Lily. She's a Labrador mix. She's the prettiest girl there ever was. She's very sleepy. And then we've got a Mountain Cur mix. Oh, I know I'm bothering you. I'm sorry. He's sleeping in the other room. Oh! Knocked over some things. All right, let's try to get to 200. We're at 180. That's 2 more sets of 10. Very doable. You know how I know? Because we've done it 9 times already to this point. 181 if we make this. Here we go. Oh, it's such a beautiful thing, by the way, because this is my house. I don't have to worry about neighbors or if there's somebody in the apartment next to me. It's 1 in the morning and I can just yell about making a bunch of putts in a row to my stream on the internet with you guys, and no one's going to be bothered because this is my house. Nice. It does feel like I might never miss a short putt again. Boom. That's 188. One, 8, 9. Let's go, guys. $190. Let's go. We're reaching like very elite levels of ball speed numbers right now. 190. Crazy, crazy streak. It's fair to say that the next time we come on here to do this, it's going to be tough to beat this streak. It's going to be really tough. Joseph said hi and says he has a question. My putting sucks. I don't know if it's just the cheap putter I'm using or it's my technique. Do you mind helping? Sure. Your wife will love it. Yell louder. DJ, the good news is she's not even here to be bothered, so it's just me and some sleeping dogs. And as long as I don't bother them, they're not going to wake up and bother me. So, yeah. Be as loud as we want. 191. Come on now. Let's get to 200, guys. Come on. 192. Come on. Things we absolutely love to see. That was not a good stroke, but we managed to start the putt on line. That's 197. $198. Come on. $199. This is it, guys. This is for 200 5-footers in a row. Drop a comment, drop a subscribe for 200 in a row. I'm nervous. I'm like, I don't want to miss this. I can't get all the way to 199 and then miss 200. Yarnum says the app works. The Golf Tracer indeed works. Yeah, I know. That's what I use myself. So, Joseph, drop me another question. Maybe that's all you were going to say. So, Joseph, I would start by process of elimination, right? See if you can improve your technique with your current putter, then you know it was probably your technique. And I would definitely recommend something like this Well-Stroke mat or the Pels Tutor I have back here, right? These are aids that we can help use to build our skills and our stroke. You know, that's how I've been practicing on here a whole bunch, and I still use it even without the Pels Tutor, right? To be able to make this many putts in a row. You've worn a path to the hole by now. All right, guys, for 200 in a row, this one's got to go in. Just make a good stroke. Boom. Incredible. I know if this was grass, you'd be like, well, you definitely just wore down the grass and created a channel. But not on grass. I don't know if we can say that. Boom. 201. Oh, I didn't update the extremely official tracker. That's how you know it's so official. Poor DJ's like, bro, I got to get out of here. This guy just won't miss. 200. 200. Love to see it. Love to see it. We've already made 201, so this is 202. Ooh, that was close. Caught the right side of the cup. Okay. No worries there. Still rolling them in. Guys, I really I want to go to sleep. But you can't just stop on a streak like this. Does putting on a mat like this translate to the course? And Paxton tonight. Hey, Paxton. So it definitely translates from a technique perspective. It won't translate in that, like, I'm still going to miss, putts out on the course, right? Because we're playing on a living surface and, there's just it's hard to make putts. So certain aspects of it will translate and certain aspects won't. But I have found a lot of value in developing the skill of starting the ball online, right? And that's what these training aids are really intended to do. And we know that about 90% of short putt success is based on starting the ball online. So I have definitely noticed more of my, 3 to 10 foot putts going in this year. But I still have days where I miss a whole bunch and my lag putting is still well below the level that it needs to be for me to post the scores that I want to be able to post. You can't be 3-putting 2 and 3 times around and put up good scores. So I'm still working through some stuff there. But I definitely think there are aspects that translate and that make the practice worth it. That was a bit firm. Just sneaking in the right side there. Woo! I'll tune back in at 6:30 when you're closing in on 1,000. Shout out to DJ being here. Thanks very much, my dude. Does putting on the mat actually help? Oh, yeah. We just answered that. Craig said hi. Hey, Craig. What's your longest drive? Probably like 360. My highest ball speed ever is like 180. But that was a while ago. These days I live, like, my max would be like, the highest I've seen on TrackMan this year was 172, which, with good launch conditions would translate to like 290 carry. Oh, no. That doesn't count, guys. We just hit. Streak's going to end at 208, guys. We made 208 in a row. And just like that, it's over. I just bounced it off of the official score tracker. That's kind of a bummer. 208 is the final streak, guys. I use a mat pretty much only for my putting stroke. Yeah, I agree. For the future, let people know the Golf Tracer app is $1 and its premium features are $4.99, but it's a great value. Okay. Dang, that's actually insane. Yeah, 208 in a row, guys. That's going to be hard to beat in the future. That's going to be really, really hard to beat. I don't know if I've ever made... No, I know. 48 is the most I made since I've started doing this. So we went from 48 being our PR to 208 being our PR. So I think, like some of you guys have rightly pointed out, that putter's going to go in the bag, I think. I think that putter's going to get a try on the golf course. 208 in a row. That's going to be hard to beat. It's going to be really hard to beat. And we're not going to do it tonight / this morning because it's, what time is it? 1:15 in the morning. I hit good onto the green with my 7-iron once. Oh, that's very cool. 7-iron's a tough club. Putting on the mat is super easy, but still impressive. I missed it. Shake my head. Oh, sorry, Nick. Yeah, well, feel free to go back and rewatch the stream. We You know, we did one streak from the time I said, all right, we're going to start. We made 10. We're like, all right, streak starting now at 10. We went from 0 to 208. There was no like 19 streak, 35 streak before. It was just one for however long we've been streaming, 106 minutes. 208 in a row we made. That was very fun. Where did you buy your mat? So I'm getting a lot of questions about this, guys. The ball return, like this part with the cup, it's just a cheap one from online. I think I got it on Amazon, although I do not shop there anymore. I would not recommend that you shop there. But I did get this product there a while ago. But more importantly, the Pels Golf Tutor, which is this guy, this basically just creates a gate, right? This is a scalable drill. There's 3 different slots here where you put these ball bearings, right? And it creates a gate for you to putt through to practice starting your putt online, right? If you start it too far to the right or the left, you're going to hit these ball bearings. Then as your skill improves, you move the ball bearings closer together to narrow the gate. And this well stroke mat is what I have underneath it. These 2 products are actually designed to go together, right? So I have a stroke, arc trainer underneath for some visual feedback. And then I get the functional feedback, like did I actually start the putt on my intended line, right? So that's the training aid combo that I've hit, honestly, probably thousands of putts like this. And it has really, really helped me just feel so much more confident that, I'm able to start the ball on my intended line consistently. I'm still going to miss putts. I'm still going to hit them the wrong speed. I'm still going to misread some putts. But it feels to me like when I'm out there that the putts are coming out like where I'm aimed. Like if I'm trying to hit it at the left edge, usually it's starting, pretty much at that left edge. Now, maybe the putt needed to be hit, 2 balls to the left, and I'm going to miss the putt low still. But, a lot of really positive results on the golf course. Elise said hi. Hey, Elise. I hit better with my 7-iron and my putter than my other clubs. I'm still working on it. Says kicking at bass fishing. Well, that's awesome. Just keep up the hard work, keep building your skills, work on impact, work on finding the center of the club face. Nick says, I have the same setup pretty much. It's definitely easier putting on a mat than a real green. Maybe I just suck under pressure, though. May I ask why you don't buy from Amazon? I just think there are other places to spend my money that are maybe doing less awful things in the world. The convenience is hard to beat, right? I was a long time believer that the convenience made it worth it, but I missed on the left. So again, this is giving me instant feedback that, hey, the stroke you just made, the face was too close at impact and you hit that left ball bearing. Right, so then I can adjust, I get that feedback, and I'm able to successfully complete the drill. Just like that, guys. And we've come to the end of our Heineken Zero. We finished our streak. Also, the mat gives you the line, obviously. Yeah, for sure, Nick. No, it's definitely, this is just about execution practice, right? It's not about like, I know that it's a right edge putt and it's going to break to the left because that's how the floor is slanted. And I have the line pointed there. So it's really just about, can I make the stroke repeatedly? So just different skills that we're trying to work on at different times. On the green, when there's slants, I struggle almost most of the time when I'm not really focused. Yeah, it can be tough. You really got to, learn as you're developing your abilities as a golfer to, read the greens and pick out a good aiming point, especially on those longer putts. So just keep working at it. And, there's some great resources. I made some videos about putting and different stuff, so feel free to check those out. 208 in a row, guys. It's gonna be hard to beat that. Really is gonna be hard to beat that. But thank you guys very much again for all your support on the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you guys again for being here, and we'll see you next time.